St. Hilara's Academy was no ordinary school. It had stood for over a century, its tall Gothic towers piercing the sky and its corridors echoing with the laughter of generations. But beneath its polished floors and well-maintained gardens, the school hid a secret, a dark chapter erased from history but never forgotten by the walls. It began innocently enough. The new semester had just started, and a group of students stumbled upon an old locked room in the West Wing. The room wasn't on any map, and the janitor, a grizzled man named Mr. Patel, warned them to stay away. "Some doors are locked for a reason," he muttered before shuffling off. But curiosity got the better of them. One night, Arjun, Mira, and Dev decided to investigate. With a stolen key and flashlights in hand, they crept through the darkened hallways, their footsteps muffled by the ancient carpet. The air grew colder as they approached the door, and their breath fogged in the dim light. The lock clicked open, and the door creaked, revealing a forgotten classroom. Dust blanketed the desks and faded chalk scribbles covered the blackboard. But the room didn't feel empty. Mira swore she heard faint whispers, but Arjun brushed it off as nerves. On the teacher's desk lay an old journal, its leather cover cracked with age. Inside were pages filled with erratic handwriting, detailing the life of a girl named Amara who once attended St. Hilara's. The entries spoke of bullying, isolation, and eventually, despair. The final page ended abruptly with the words, "They'll never forget me." As Dev read the last line aloud, the lights flickered, and the door slammed shut. The whispers grew louder, transforming into a chilling, childlike laughter. Shadows moved across the room, though no one was there. Panic set in as they tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Then from the corner of the room, a figure emerged. A young girl in an old-fashioned school uniform, her eyes hollow and her head tilted unnaturally. "You found me," she whispered, her voice echoing unnaturally. The students screamed and the lights went out completely. When they finally escaped, stumbling into the hallway, the room behind them was gone, just a solid wall where the door had been. But the laughter followed them all the way home. The next day, Arjun, Mira, and Dev couldn't shake the events of the night before. They agreed to keep it a secret, but the school wouldn't let them forget. Mira found scratches on her locker that read, "Why did you leave?" Dev started hearing footsteps behind him when he walked alone, though no one was there. Arjun, the most skeptical of the group, tried to convince himself it was all in their heads. But one night, as he studied in his room, his desk lamp flickered, and a chilling voice whispered, "You brought me back." The group decided they needed answers. They approached Mr. Patel, who reluctantly revealed the truth. Decades ago, Amara had been a student at St. Hilara's. Tormented by her classmates and ignored by the teachers, she disappeared one day, and the room where she was last seen was sealed off. Her spirit, he explained, was trapped, waiting for someone to find her. Determined to put an end to the haunting, they researched ways to help restless spirits move on. Armed with candles, a photograph of Amara they'd found in the journal, and trembling courage, they returned to the West Wing. The room was there again, its door slightly ajar, as if waiting for them. Inside, the air was thick and cold, and the shadows danced unnaturally. Placing the photograph on the desk, they lit the candles and began to speak. "Amara, we're here to help you. You don't have to stay trapped anymore." At first, nothing happened. Then the room shook violently, and the figure of Amara appeared, her face twisted in anguish. "They never listened," she screamed, her voice echoing like a storm. Mira stepped forward, her voice steady despite her fear. "We're listening now. We're sorry for what happened to you. You deserved better." Amara's expression softened and the shadows began to recede. The room grew warmer, and for a brief moment, the figure of a young, smiling girl replaced the ghostly apparition. Then she was gone and the room returned to silence. The next day, the students noticed something different. The West Wing, once foreboding, now felt peaceful. The laughter of children filled the hallways again, and the scratches on the lockers vanished. St. Hilara's had finally let go of its darkest secret. But as the group walked past the West Wing one last time, A faint whisper followed them. "Thank you, but never forget." And they never did.